Okay, now let's go to mid-segment theorem. So what is mid-segment theorem? If you are given a triangle, if you are given a triangle, if I'm taking midpoint of any two sides, here I'm marking point D, which is the midpoint of side AB. You can see the symbols. So point D is the that's the midpoint of AB. And if you look at side AC and point E is the midpoint of AC. These symbols are indicating that length of AE equals to EC, therefore E is the midpoint. These symbols on AB are indicating that AD equals to DB, that shows that D is the midpoint. So mid segments are segments connecting the two midpoints of any two sides of triangle. Now, as these points are connected, the line segment is always parallel. Friends, parallel means here DE is parallel to BC. Here, the most important thing is the line segment that is formed by joining the midpoints of any two sides is parallel to this third side, so D is parallel to BC. The conclusion is the segment joining the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and half of this third side. So, in brief, triangle midsegment theorem says that a midsegment, please notice that once again I'm marking the midpoints, that is x is the midpoint of AB. These symbols are showing that length of AX equals to XB, therefore X is the midpoint, and these symbols are showing that the length of BY equals to YC, therefore Y is the midpoint. So the line segment that is joining these midpoints is parallel to the third side. This is the third side because this is my first side. I'm taking midpoint of first side and midpoint of second side. So the line segment joining the midpoints of these two sides is parallel to third side and half of the third side. So length of xy equals to half of the third side, which is AC. So here every triangle has three mid line segments. For the first one, this is parallel to DF and half of DF, and in the second diagram, RT is parallel to EF and half of EF, and in the third diagram, ST is half of DE and parallel to DE. So let's take quickly some examples. Let's go to the worksheet and let me take a couple of questions. Okay, so let me copy. Okay, I'm taking two questions from the worksheet, copied here, and find the length of CD. Friends, just now we discussed that by mid-segment theorem, length of CD equals to half of. You please observe that length of CD is half of XZ, half of XZ. Therefore, let me plug in the values. The value of X is 16, so half of 16, that gives me 8 units. So the length of CD equals to 8. Now, sometimes the question looks simple, but it may be tricky. And find AC. Friends, look at this one here, AC and TS, these two. And T is the midpoint of AB and S is the midpoint of BC. You can see these symbols. Therefore, length of TS, which is the short one, that is half of AC by mid-segment theorem. The mid-segment theorem says that the line joining midpoints of any two sides is parallel to the third side and half of the third side. Therefore, half of AC value I don't know, but TS is given as 4 units. Then to eliminate this half on both these sides, I'm multiplying by 2. So 2 and this 1 over 2 gets cancelled. Then I get AC equals to 8 units. AC equals to 8 units. Let's go to next page for another example. Okay, in this question, once again, by mid-segment theorem, by mid-segment theorem, let me take a length of BC, that's the line joining the midpoints of RS and TS, equals to half of RT. Therefore, BC is given as just copy the values x plus 29. Oops, I'm sorry. Here I made a small mistake. That is half of RT. Right? Now let's compute. So in order to eliminate this half, I have to multiply by 2 on both the sides. So 2 times x plus 19. So that gives me 2x. 2 times 19 is 38. 2 and a half gets cancelled. X plus 29. So the next step is you know how to compute take away x on both the sides. Then you get x plus 38 equals to 29. Then take away 38 on both the sides, then the value of x equals to negative. So don't be surprised in case if you end up with a negative value.